I'm Bernie Flowers, one of Uncle Sam's wayward sons, and I intend to talk about important topics every week in hoping to improve our country and our way of life. Please like, share, and subscribe as we try to grow the channel and defend America's middle class. So now, let's get started. Our guest for episode 74 is a new husband, a new father, and a longtime Baltimore community activist. His name is Eugene Boikai. Eugene, how are
Yes,
you
sir.
today?
I'm great. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Man, it's always a pleasure to get together with you. I know your time has been a little limited since you're a brand new dad and you're a brand new husband, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Uh, the average Joe, a father, and I'm always going to stand up for the working class, and that's basically, man, old school, African, traditional, conservative, which means the way of life, my how I was up, my upbringing, my morals, everything's lines up, and like with the far right, black, white, Chinese, as long as they're traditional living, that's what I feel comfortable at. So that's me, just a traditional man, proud of that, and God fearing and God loving at the same time.
Man, that's what I love about you. You're real all the time. All the time. So here's the deal.
Thank you,
I
sir.
got a couple of questions for you, if you're
Yes, sir.
ready. Now, they might be a little fiery, might fire you up
Mm.
a little bit. You good with that?
Oh man, I'm far right, damn right, relax. I'm blessed, so I'm good.
All right, here we go. First question. What do you think of Miss Kamala Harris and her presidential candidacy?
Uh it's it's good and it's bad. You know, it's first, with every negative, I like to look at the positive. So she is a Democrat. I'm gonna be respectful and call that party name Democrat. She's a Democrat, so naturally, nothing that she stands for I align with, nor do I feel like it's beneficial to the growth of the United States of America. With that being said, I like to look at the positive side of her candidacy. Once she became officially the nominee of the Democrat Party, I officially called as many people as I could and tell them, listen, that word racism that y'all use, that white supremacists and this, that, that y'all use in an argument state is dead. I bought the casket. I put that word in the casket is dead. It's officially dead. The reason why I say that, right, to make an argument is like no longer do I want to hear America is such this racist place that whatever that argument may be. Because Vern just looked at the facts that we're at. Let's look at the positive. Here is an Indian woman, and whatever she is, just the point that I don't know what she is, it's a blessing because I don't know what she is. She has never ever been elected, nominated. Nobody voted her in. And just the fact that I can say her as the VP, the vice president of the United States of America, the world superpower, a young empire, right there, argument ends. The casket already bought it. I took racism of anybody that want to use that word and I put it in there, and I bury it. You can't use that argument. Now you have to stand on your moral grounds and stands on your policies and the results. So with her candidacy, I look at it as a negative and a positive. God bless her heart. That's America right there. For us to take an individual like that to even say she have a chance, a good chance to be the commander in chief of all of our lands, black, white, supremacists, non-supremacists, if she is legitimately elected by the people of the United States of America, she becomes our president. So it's a blessing. Racism is dead. Now let's have a realistic conversation where everybody can stand on what they are trying to sell.
Okay. Okay. I got another question for you.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Why should Black people support Kamala Harris?
Well, I'm one of those, I'm a true traditional, not program Black man. My roots go back to my African father. My roots go back to my African mother. I'm a true traditional man that believes in the choice of, and this is what, like or hate the founding father that they stands on. I believe in choice. So it is not up to me with my morals to say Black people shouldn't vote for Kamala, whatever her name is. I don't know. This woman, she's not of her interest. She was never voted in, but she stands there. We deal with the reality. But just the fact that I'm not going to say Black people or this people shouldn't. We are at the point where I'm going to say she is not my choice at all. My reasons is this, that's that. Now, if you're Black, me and my brother was just talking about it. If you're going to box with the guards, make sure you come prepared. Make sure you're well trained. Black people in the condition underneath of her party and her administration, because I'm tying her, this is her administration for the last 3.5 years. Everything that is right and wrong in your existence, as far as the government, give her credit for it. That is her. There's no separation. I'm not going to tell Black people to say, don't vote for her or vote for her. All I want to say is this. If you're voting for her and you believe in the Black rights and the community and this, make sure that when you step in the cipher of the gods, that you come correct and don't come as a peasant, because this is not room for that. Stand on how she has increased. My value, family value, is Kamala increasing. It's her present increasing. Black man, Black woman, to know and identify with each other and make the family structure strong. When we all know the breakdown of the family belongs to the KKK clan, the party, which are the Democrats, that's there for many generations, many elections to come. They put together policies to make sure that they broke the Black family apart in many ways. A lot of Black people like to use, especially Democrats, systemic, which means all these policies that was put in place to hold you down. Well, that's y'all. You did that. Make sure your argument supports Black excellence. Because I take pride in my son. I'm far right. I'm not even in the middle Black. I'm telling you, anything, Bernie, anything the Democrats stand for, I'm the opposite. I don't care if they right. I just don't like them. Ooh. I'm the opposite. If they say that's up, I'm gonna claim that shit. That's down. So I made my stance clear.
You always put a smile on my face, man. Here's the deal. Something you said just a few seconds ago leads me to ask you another question. Is Kamala Black?
No, she's not. We all know that. I mean, come on now.
Some people
but when you live in the world, I mean, you could say when they say, "Oh, I'm going to vote for somebody of color." Yes, okay, that could be a Mexican. That could be. I mean, the way that we set it up that anything that is non-white or some stuff is of color. So if you want to say Kamala is a woman of color, yeah, okay, fine. Well, if you believe in being a racist by judging an individual on their skin tone, man, that's your freedom that America we're trying to fight for the right that you supposed to have. That's your choice. But as far as looking at it, Kamala or Chamilla or whatever this human person being is, exactly. This woman never, the people did not even choose her. But yeah, we have to stomach who she is. And here we are in the greatest superpower. We are having a conversation, is she black or not? Because they are the one that bringing this up.
Mm-mm.
See, as traditional people, right, black or white alike, all we're looking at is policies and how do that affect the average working American. That's it. That's what majority of the conservative, not Republican, because those are two separate places. I want to vote for a Republican, right? But
Right.
I do not just vote, and you know this for sure. We in so many circles together, and we have many conversation on many different levels. Not every Republican I line up with, because not every Republican are traditional. See, a lot of these Republicans like to use that word loosely. But I always ask them, I say, please go back into your dictionary. Just punch in the word conservative on Google search. Come up with a definition, see what that stands for. What tradition, what way of life are you tied to that I should say you're conservative, that you are using it? If you want to talk about single moms and all that, that's the Democrat Party. They got that locked down. So how can you be conservative when life, as we know it traditionally, has been man and woman, and it's been just that? That's how this country was built, by the unity of man and woman playing their role and respecting each other for the role that they hold down underneath, for not man's law, because we're making it as we go, but under God's law. That, as I was just telling my brother, I see God's law every day in my office as nature changes. This is my third spring that we coming on here, where I'm watching the leaves now. I mean, fall. And it's amazing to me because the universe have an order. So we're at the point where Camilla is all about the policy. Stand on your policies. I want to see what it stands for.
I agree totally. I got another question for you, though.
Yes, sir.
Being that you're a man of the people, what do the people in Baltimore, specifically the regular folks that you run into every day, what do they think of Mrs. Harris?
It's a joke. See, the average person. Number one, even on the Democrat side, they don't have an argument anymore. But the same thing that they say they fight against is what they keep on bringing to the surface. Because she's a woman. Because she's a woman. She's a black woman. Number one, she's not a black woman. Take pride in who you are. Not everything. Black people in America are so far to jump to. Oh, yeah, that's one of us. For what reason? I just said it, Bernie. I don't took racism by just her nominee. I put it in the casket. I don't want to hear nobody talk about racism anymore. Because if that woman can run for the president of the United States, this is Bernie, whatever, to me, she's an idiot. Black or white or anything. She's an idiot. The reason why I say that, because certain things is common sense. It's just common sense. You know what I mean? You don't need a political degree to understand when certain policies are not working. It's not producing any type of results. But here, as a citizen of the United States of America, I got to bite my nails to say that this woman has the power to affect on the federal level my day and day existence. As a man, as a black man, as a 5 foot short midget man. Her, she, them, it, or however the Democrats like to label to make them feel good about themselves.
Mm-mm.
It right there have that power. So, I mean, we're at a state right now where a lot of people in, whether it's Baltimore, and my brother is standing right here next to me. We're from East Orange, New Jersey.
How you doing, good sir?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Okay.
But we were sitting in the middle of the street and we were just talking about this. And one of the things is, number one, nobody knows her or like her. Number two, nobody knows what she stands for. Number three, nobody even knows her freaking name. The only person I think correctly pronounced her name was what? A fella Indian American. We was Pavel,
Vivek
whatever his name is.
Ramaswamy.
Huh?
Vivek Ramaswamy?
Yeah, he was the only one that was able to pronounce her name correctly.
And he don't like her either.
He don't like her, but guess what though? He still has some Indian culture. He knows how the name is supposed to be pronounced. Most black people, if we're gonna go racist, if we're going to go by color, most black people don't even know how to pronounce her name because she came out of nowhere and she's being shoved in people's face.
Yes.
So nobody really likes her. It's just a matter of people are looking at things where I tell the Republican Party, they don't know the message of the Republican. Not many people have been relaying the message of how the conservative view lines up with a lot of black individuals. So the talk from Baltimore to every states that I have traveled to, just talking to people in, black community, white or black hood communities or any type of thing, is that nobody is voting on Kamala or whatever you want to pronounce. Nobody is really voting for her. They're voting against if they do vote.
Yeah.
Some people just don't want to take the risk of, some people benefit, pardon me. Some people benefit. This is reality, Bernie. People benefit for their own personal gain for the Democrats being in office.
Yes, you are correct.
They benefit from that. And it's that simple. Nobody knows her. Right. Nobody knows, and nobody is excited. I haven't met a person yet to jump up and down and say, "Oh my God, Kamisa, Tisamia, that's my woman right there." Oh man, did you remember the time when she? Nobody can stand up and tell you anything about how her existence and her 3.5 years as the second in command in the Democrat Party of running this country have improved their lives. Yeah. Nobody. They just voting against those that are so-called like hardcore Democrats are just voting against.
Vote blue no matter who. It's funny you brought up another question that pops into my mind. You mentioned that she had been in office for 3.5 years and basically implied that she has done nothing in those 3.5 years. Well, have you heard about these Venezuelan gangs wilding out in Aurora, Colorado? What do you think about that? And personally, I think that, her lack of leadership on the border has contributed to those people being here. But what are your thoughts?
Well, I have some personal thoughts on it because Bernie, as you know, I've been privileged to, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I've been privileged and blessed to know a lot of good people all over the country and out of the country, so conversation, more and more people, right? Sometimes it takes people a while to warm up to a idea that they don't recognize or used to, but respect is a very powerful thing. So a lot of people wasn't key into me coming out as a hardcore, not a Republican, a hardcore, far to the right Republican, but they respected me enough to give me the space for me to argue my perspective, and not just argue it, but to be an example for what I'm saying. So I have yet I have personal conversation where people are really starting to see like how that is affecting their lives. See, it's one thing to say, see, the Democrats set you up. They break families apart. Like when we talking about, especially that affected the black family, they will break black families apart in the court system, but yet at the same time sell you that Trump is bad because he's breaking illegal immigrant family apart. So you see, nobody really never challenged them on that. And they dismissed that. But a lot of people are actually coming back into it because I had two friends that called me, and like especially in Texas, where this is funny, but it's reality. Where one of my people called me. You know, I don't judge people's lifestyle. I know some of the people. It is what it is. I respect them and they respect me. But this guy called me and say they are actually about to put together some things that says a gang for Trump. You know, yeah. I was laughing. We both laughed because it finally hit him. He's like, "Yo, the effect of the Democrat Party is hitting home to a lot of people. Yeah. The gangs are coming in, taking over community.
Yeah.
Now they not everybody wants to be part of a gang, but some people do it because that's all they know, and some people do it for the love of brotherhood that they never had, and some people do it just, because they love to. But regardless of their reason, they're seeing the effect of people that don't. This is when we have a civil. I'd rather have a civil war and come to a conclusion than somebody coming from the outside. They have illegals coming in, and the United States federal government is weaponizing them against their own citizens. If we don't have gang problem enough, this dude was telling me, like, these dudes are taking over blocks and stuff and trying to come in. And the crazy part about it, not only do they have some of the clientele support, but now the federal government is giving some of their resource that they're fighting for. Now they're giving them those resources for those gangs to get bigger.
And out of taxpayer dollars.
Taxpayer dollars.
Yes, sir.
Taxpayer dollars are putting there, you know, and they are increasing. And it's affecting. You think about this, Bern. I laugh with my dude because I love him. I know him, you know. That's my people. That's my brother. I don't agree with some of that lifestyle, but I laugh because that's funny. Gangs for Trump. Can you imagine that?
I never would have thought that, bro. Never.
Exactly. I was laughing, but reality is setting in that their own government, if they don't have their own problem of fighting amongst each other, now they have a new outside force coming in, taking over territory they're fighting in, and it's like, you have stories of where these gangs are taking over apartment buildings, you know, they bullying, they like mob style.
They're charging people rent to stay in apartments that folks are already staying in. It's crazy.
Exactly. And this is the border. You think about this. The increase on the border and stuff is increased over 300%. Not 50%. Over 300%, Bernie. Over 8 million peoples and more are coming into this country. Now you think about that on national security level.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I do.
National security level. What do you think China and all these enemies of the United States doing? When they're going to attack the weakest point, how long do you think? Sometimes things take time for you to set up cells. They're already in our country. It's not even an argument. They're already in our country. How long do you think underneath this administration right now, even if Trump gets in there, how long do you think it was set up, Bern? It would take these people to set up one of our schools. Yeah. It could be one of our schools. It could be a place of worship. It could be anywhere where, kaboom, we have these people trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
So that's why national security, securing our border, it shouldn't be a black and a white thing or a Democrat or a Republican thing. This should be our American thing. We can agree to disagree, but come on now. security is important. That's the most important thing. If we do not have a secure border, we do not have a country.
There you go. My sentiments exactly. I got another question for you. And this is another one, though, that comes off what you just said. Still talking about Kamala, but her input into our national policy. For example, in the state of Oregon, they're giving $30,000 grants for illegals to
Yep.
put down payments on houses. This is American money that American taxpayers can't access. This is specifically for people who are illegally in this country. And in California, their state legislature just authorized $25,000 grants for people to buy houses in California. Now, this money is taxpayer dollars from the state of California that's already pretty much bankrupt, but they're borrowing money to give these people grants to buy these houses. The question is, they're not doing that for American citizens, and I just don't understand. And I would like to get your thoughts on the subject.
Well, it's clear to understand, right? You're dealing with good versus evil. You're dealing with those who are living in the past versus those who are planning for the future. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these people are selfish and they're not investing in the long term progress of this country. They're not investing in that. They're for the now. They're for the now. All these things, right, that the Democrat has put in place, none of their policies, I can't think of a single policies that have produced results in the long term. I can't think of a single policies that have produced any type of America first or pride in country. I can't think of a single one. Maybe my perspective is just of a short black U.S. citizen man, that came from hard time and watched my mom show me how to live the American dream, what my African parents have passed down to first generation American. Maybe that just coming from that, right? But through the ups and the downs, I believe in America and the greatness of America, in which we go when people ask the question, when has America ever been great? If you have to ask that question, then you are now part of the solution. Nobody ever said the United States is an idea. Nobody ever said it was a perfect idea. It's an ever evolving idea that it takes us to put in the work one generation at a time to make this idea benefit us as Americans before we even start going to outside sources. They are spending $30,000 of American taxpayer money, and a lot of people don't understand. We use the word taxpayer money too loosely. We use it too loosely. What that means that if you are a hardworking individual, that the government can see your money. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Everything from that $30,000 to the $60,000 as the increase, as they're giving that, your money that is saying that you are being taxed on, it increased. So I don't know how anybody can argue on an increase of their hard-earned money going to somebody that is not benefiting their sons, their daughters, their livelihood, that is not benefiting the security of the border for us to even argue about trans right, women right, Ethiopian rights, midget right. I'm about to start coming up with a midget right now. I think 5'6" people, we are treated wrong in this country.
You are not a midget. You need to stop.
No, but you see, there are certain things, Vern. It's like there have to be a cutoff point.
Yeah.
In my wallet, even my credit card has a time limit. It has an expiration date. Every time I have to order something, I have to give that expiration date.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm
When
tracking.
we come back to our tax dollar going into these illegal immigrants, it's like buying a new gun and shooting yourself and then blaming the manufacturer of the gun.
Yes, I
That's the
understand.
equivalent of how I see these people are trying to sell this to us. You are making our lives harder on something majority of hardworking individuals are not agreeing upon. Nobody wants to see that. I'm not out there to work hard day and night in the hot, the cold, the everything, just to have somebody dictates to me the revenue I'm working hard for to bring in. They're still going to control it. It's not motivation for me to keep on building. So when we start, especially as Republicans, naming the brand now, to start to bring that message clear to people right in the face without distracting and going by the rules that the other side, the enemy, wants to play with, then I think we will start to really, if people want to vote on this, if Republicans have this talking point of we have to pick somebody electable, then we can really start letting accountability people, these the other side, be accountable for their action, because these people have moved the goalpost so much. If we can bring the message that if you are a hardworking person, that $30,000 from people that don't even supposed to be here. We are a country of immigrants, but what we're saying is we are also a country of law. Put aside feeling, because when you go to court, any father that love their kids that sat in court, they would tell you the court system they have no room for feelings. They go about how the law is structured. If we all are living on that equality thing, then let's be fair about it. We're not saying that people don't belong here. It's a land of immigrant. That's like saying my family don't exist, or Eugene Boikai shouldn't exist, or Bernie shouldn't exist, or my brother over here shouldn't exist. Because we grew up together, me and my brother. We first generation of a truly African American.
Hmm.
We're not saying that. What we're saying is stand in line like my mom did, like this person did, coming here because you were appreciated more.
Follow
Our
the law.
taxpayer money is going against people that's going to be used against us. And now, when it comes down to the party of slavery, they are still interjecting that same ideology into the modern day existence. But the simple fact that they are only bringing these people into this country illegally because they can manipulate them. That's why voter voting integrity is important, and more Republicans really need to take it serious. As a candidate in Baltimore City, I know firsthand how some of the Democrats are doing. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is a fact. There is a reason why in these communities that they say, oh, we are for blacks. Nobody, my man's right here. When I go out of state, you don't go to a club without showing ID.
Hmm.
Why? Interest. It's hard to get a liquor license. The owner of that club is not going to compromise or sacrifice him losing his license. Then why is it, right, that owner of the club have an interest? Then why is it something as precious as picking our elected official, our proper representation, our proper representative to represent us, right or wrong, left or right? Why is it that one party is fighting so hard to suppress people from saying, let's show ID? You have to show ID to show that you live here. You did. Why are they trying to say, oh, it's a racist thing? We need to call it for what it is. A bull, a bull, no. If you, in that man that goes to the club, he have to show ID. He can still use that same ID to come and show his ID to vote, because we are protecting the interest and the integrity, just like a club owner, that you have to stand in line and show ID if you want to get in that club. We have to start pushing the issue of election integrity, making sure that all these poll washer and all the elected people are are winning these elections fairly, that you are the people choice. Majority is ruling, you know, fairly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we just gotta, I'm sorry, but yeah, we just gotta really
Let it roll,
attack
man.
the
Let it
and call
roll.
it for what it is. Yeah, we have to, election integrity is important. We have to start saying, no, we got to beat back at this idea. Oh, it's racist. Is it really racist? Do
I
you
agree.
ever go at the DNC? They had to show ID before you came in and all that stuff there. In these people private section, these elected officials, you going in there, it's invite only. So are y'all being racist? That's hypocritical.
I
So
agree.
we have to attack this for what it is. And
Yeah.
we need the proper soldiers and generals to really hit them.
But you're the right guy. But something you said just a few minutes ago in the last answer leads me to this question. You had mentioned the word fatherhood, and I'm going to switch gears on you a little bit now.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready. What is
Mm-hmm.
the state of black fatherhood in Baltimore and surrounding areas? Regular middle class people.
It's non-existent. The good, I say the roughly 20% of guys that um how can I say this? You know, there's a lot of good fathers up there, but you have to look at the talking point of um the Republican Party and what they stand for. Baltimore City is the perfect display of what the Demo, and I call it the Dem or Rats Party, really stand for. I have a brother. We grew up East Orange, New Jersey. We was looking at a lot of things. New York people, travel all over, and you start to look at. We know the importance of community, but a place that Baltimore City, where you have the mayor as a young man put in place by the choice of the people, love or hate him, he has power over all color. But yes, these are the same people that says systemic racism. And I always pull that card on this, like how? You are the system. Bernie, they are the system.
I agree.
What hey yo, what was that thing you just said? You said what was the thing I said I had to quote you? Can't complain about it, you're not gonna fix it. Yeah. You can't complain about inch if you don't plan on fixing it. That's
Right.
what my brother, because a lot of black men, right? Their eyes are being open. And sometimes, like with my platform, it's not about, I'm about prevention. I'm not about, oh, the legislative's going to open this. I'm an old school, traditional, conservative man. That's why when you see me, I could try to compete and tell people the struggle that I went through to be who I am, or I could show them my greatest strength, where it's hard for people to um, try to even battle me, is that it's one thing to talk about it, it's another thing to be about it. I'm gonna show you the power of what when a father is in a child's life, how the house is ran. I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna show you the importance of making rational decisions. 8 years I went through hell battling this so-called black system that said they loved me, but did everything they could to destroy a father of four, to bring me down to my knees. And I've always been an active member of my community of all type. But literally, they told me in my face that they will sacrifice me. And that's my boiling point. When you tell me I'm somebody's son, a man, same 4 kids. You are telling me, looking at a grown taxpayer man, down on his luck now because you have implemented policy that made it so easy for a good man to be in a house to want to blow his brain up. That my daughters, my father, my mama would no longer have a son if I would have been successful, if God wouldn't have intervened. You're telling me that you're going to sacrifice me. That's disrespectful as a man. You understand that, Bernie? We
I
put
do
everything
understand.
aside. To me, that was so disrespectful for you to look at me. So that's where Eugene Boikai was made, where I say it's no longer time to keep on asking people because it's a system for a reason. They are not going to do anything about it. But I say the power of influence, I always had that. I'm going to show people. I'm going to do it from the underground. What I'm used to. I came from the entertainment background. I came from a rough background. I never went to Harvard. I didn't practice on saying the most intellectual stuff and this, that. I've been a leader of my world. When I pick elected official, I'm not picking you to be my father like what Hogan did to tell me, a grown man that's responsible for my household. I'm picking you to be my representative. You work for me. So when we start looking at politicians to the point where we forget you are a public servant and you're supposed to work for the people. So one of the things is the state of fatherhood. I'm showing a lot of people the impact of when a father is there. I'm gonna show a lot of people the impact of their side versus I'm far right. I don't even want to play in the middle because that's politics. I don't respect that in the middle. It can swing either way. I'm gonna show you what far right and put a black face there. I'm gonna show you what it's all about. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you a father because they never listen to me when I'm coming to the court and begging. Nobody respect a man that's begging. So instead of begging, I'm gonna show you and I'm gonna force you to come to my level. Because Eugene Boikai, like I say, I'm a virus. That was my plan. I'm about prevention. Yes, it's no need for me to try to, we're going to do this legislative. We're going to, no, I'm a conservative. I believe in showing. Show a man how to fish. Show him how to. Don't tell him, fish is good and this day, if you get it, that's all. Okay, have you ever fished? No, but I read it in the book. Then how the hell, you know what I mean?
I know
Show me
exactly
the
what you
ups and
mean.
the downs. So
Yeah,
the state of fatherhood in Maryland is a perfect example. We got billions of dollars. Money is not even an issue. If you really look at their nonprofits and all that, Bernie, some of the money go back. The federal government can't even throw enough money because the people are not interested. They don't
man.
have enough men standing up. You looking at people that are trying to pass bills for pronouns, him, she, them, and all that. You go, when the last time? 300 and something. Me and my brothers here, we walking through. We went through, right? In Boikai land. We went through the town and everything. We both grew up in East Orange, New Jersey, from the toughest thing. And
Yeah.
I say now, this light, right, what they're selling you versus what you're experiencing. Now, when you experience it, it'll never be the same. So his perspective from life is already like when he go back to East Orange, New Jersey, is way bigger than the next man that never ever left East Orange, New Jersey or his block. So now he's weaponized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have a father problem, but it's not anything that's going to be fixed that the politician of that community wants to fix. It's not part of the system. It's
Yeah.
women empowerment. We will give you anything to stay the man away. Don't respect the man. You look at Roland Martin with that mindset of because a lot of black brothers are now like, you know what? All the debt or the child support ain't changed. Trump, when he was there, at least I had an opportunity to get these black jobs. As a black man, it's a job. That's what the part they don't want you to know. Job.
Yeah.
I don't care if you calling it white jobs in white area. Majority of bring the jobs to
Give me
our
the
black
job.
area.
You can call it whatever you want. How about that?
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
But look how one party try to change that. It's like, this black job.
Yeah.
It's just ignorant. You're dealing with natural ignorance on the parts and this is why every community that they stand in do not produce any results.
It's
The
terrible.
state of black fathers, it's time for men to start stepping up instead of asking. You can't ask these weak people. They're trying to be elected. That elective boo means that you're not standing on your principle, on your ground. You have none. You are trying to sell a product to get in power, however way you can, by any means necessary. When I heard the lieutenant governor, the ex-lieutenant governor, in a private setting of a I mean, seclusive place, make a speech among these high-rank so-called Republicans, and the words came out of his mouth. You have to understand, quote, you have to understand, some people, meaning like Eugene Boikai, are not electable. I looked at that man, every respect I have for Boy, it went down. I realized and I said, they have no idea what they're doing.
No, no.
Hogan just raised $8 million, right? I mean, Hogan had $8 million his campaign.
Mm-hmm.
You literally ripped the Republican Party of Maryland apart.
I agree.
There was a young man there that was looking and needed information, that was looking to see leadership, that was following protocol. There was a young man named Eugene Boikai that was a father that wanted his voice to be heard, an activist that was watching every move you make to show leadership and for y'all to show leadership as a group. Now, they show me their true color. They show me the weakness of the Republican as it stands. You saw what you can comprehend and what you wanted to see. You didn't see, your leadership didn't see, like, okay, Eugene Boikai may not be able to articulate. Maybe he can go long-winded, or maybe he's this, that. But you know what? Out of example, I think this kid has a lot of potential. This guy can be of an asset.
One thing I know about Eugene Boikai is that he is passionate and he believes in what he's talking about. That's what should be the thing that comes out. But, you know, like I said, I agree with you wholeheartedly. A lot of the leadership just, they don't get it. But let me ask you another question related. There you go, another stimulating questions. You know?
No, give it to me, man. I'm here all day if you want me to be.
All right, now, what is the cost of feminism to the Black community?
As the woman in her 40s, still on Facebook, taking picture with the high, single as hell, trying to show up her body. Ask that single mom that's frustrated, can't figure out, you know, why, you know, she don't have a man. Ask her. Bernie, for the last 30 years and stuff, I've been honest. I said, you know, a lot of things just open my eyes that I'm using more of my spiritual lens now. That's what we call the third eye, you know, because right now in the state of America, they're trying to pollute your two eyes of what you've seen.
Agreed.
Just look at the state. Fall back, right? Take off the black, white, Republican, Democrat. Just look at the state versus when feminists became a way of life and they started to gain momentum.
Mm-hmm.
How has that benefit any woman?
I don't think it's
how has it been? Yeah, I mean, it's one thing. Sometimes you have to nip a problem in the butt. You know, I'm a contractor. There's certain jobs I can look at from experience and tell my customer, I'm not going to take on that responsibility. It's not worth patching up. Oh, well, you know, all I want, just do it like this. No. The state that it's in, you have to tear it down and just start from the scratch. That's been experience. You look at the state of the modern day woman. You hear me, Bern? Yep. These women are miserable. Yeah. These women are facing the fact that they haven't had any type of stability. They're trying to do things that where it's against God's nature, God's law.
Yes.
And I'm not making this up to, look, I tell any feminist, hey, be the best feminist you can. Hey, I tell people openly, I'm a male chauvinist. You know, I believe in manhood. Whether it's Chinese man, Ethiopian man, we drive through the mountain. I love everything that the men have done. The
Yeah.
things the earth is constantly rotating and moving. We figured out a way to land a rover,
Yeah.
right, on Mars. We figured out the way to a moving planet in the solar system, how to pinpoint and even land a satellite on a moving comet. You know what I mean? That's what we do. That's what we built for. We have to constantly, constantly evolve. That's
Yeah.
man's nature. But no longer the feminists have stopped the man's support. A woman, for me, like you call it however you want to, a woman is a very important part of that man going out there to discover and do things.
It's the yin and the
But
yang, two.
exactly.
There you go.
Everybody have their place. Like my wife is a very important part of my everyday existence, and I love her for who she is. I can't do what my wife do. Hell, me and my man, if you go on my page, you see we're doing an interview. My wife keep me in line, like babe, on a normal base, she won't come, but she keeps me in line. She has the household going forward.
Yeah.
We conversate. It's like, babe, this is what I need to do. She play her position and override me on something when I lose myself to say, no, this is where you said, this is where we have to go. And I have to catch myself. Oh, okay, good. She's doing her job. We don't tussle for power in the Boikai household.
Mm-mm.
Because I respect her space as a woman, her natural woman. My man is here. My wife, that's what she loved to do. We went to the store. She was like, no, can we have, I had to ask her, please, babe, come on, let's just we got to go and grab some brew first and this, that. Because she takes a joy on her own to make sure that her house is being presented, that when my man leave here, that her king is being represented in a proper light.
Yeah.
You understand? That woman, she constantly take that as a duty. My wife is a corporate anybody that knows how to learn Boikai know that intellectually she is a genius. That's why when we go in argument, I always
Very
do
smart
simple
woman.
things to throw her off.
There you
I
go.
said that's a weakness because he's such an intellectual. When we argue, I would say the simplest thing just to throw her off because I don't get it. That's exactly I want.
There you
But
go.
we don't tussle for power, and that's why I've now started to promote nuclear family. I'm not against anybody,
There you go.
man and woman. There's a place in the universe where life has forever evolved when those two comes together. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, Bernie, I'm proud of that. Feminist is leading a lot of women astray, and at the end of the day, just watch it. They're miserable.
That's what I've seen. But hey, man, I have kept you on this phone for an hour, and I still got another question to ask.
Go ahead, bring it on.
Brother, how can people reach you if they need to?
Oh, you reach me on Facebook. That's the only social platform that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, like I say, I'm real reserved in what I have to do. Like you understand, man. There's so much work that needs to be done, Bernie. So,
Oh, yeah.
Facebook, Eugene Boikai, on Facebook. Send me a friend request, and hint. I always check people to make sure that they're the type of people I want to be around because a wise man said never argue with fools.
I agree.
So I don't waste my energy being around fools.
Yeah. Well, look, man, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Whenever we see each other, we're not recording, we're just shooting the stuff. And sometimes it's like, dang on it, I wish I would have recorded the conversation that we had because it was so doggone interesting, just like this one was. And I just want to thank you for coming on the program. And please don't let it be another year before you come back.
Oh, I keep telling you, if you could, I told you, man, new Republican, which means that I'm not trying to, like, I like the brand of Republican, but my generation, Bernie, you have to understand, we're just trying to go after the BS. Republican Party had always been the party of freedom and respect and integrity. I'm just saying it's time for us to rejuvenate that through our generation. So
I
when I
agree.
say it's new Republican, man, I'm asking you, anybody that's on the other side, I want to have a debate because a lot of these people think they're so intellectually way advanced than an average hard-working individual. So, as a representative of my type of lifestyle and the average dude, I want to see if you could. I'll put it out there again with this. Come on. I don't want to hear, like I say, racism is in a casket. Any them are rats. Come on. I don't respect your platform. I don't respect your party. I'm not even in the middle. I don't believe in you. I'm here to dominate you. If you are solely intellectual and you think that cat, Eugene Boikai, is just a hood, he don't know policy, he don't know how to bring it on. The only thing I don't debate women. I'm a male chauvinist.
Let me tell you something. Nobody wants to angle with
It
you, Eugene.
ain't working.
It's not happening. I've been trying to find somebody fool enough to do it for the last year, and I can't find them. Man, I appreciate you coming on the program. I'm going to send you back to your wife and your children, and I've taken an hour of your life, and I just thank you for giving it to me. So you take care of yourself, brother, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. So I greatly appreciate you.
All right. This has been the Loyal Opposition Podcast, produced in association with Fallback Productions and other podcasters. I ask that you like, share, and subscribe as we try to grow our channel and protect and defend America's middle class. I ask that you be sure and get a copy of my book, Black Values Matter, available as an ebook on Amazon, Audible, and Apple Books. And also remember that it's okay to disagree, but if we want our country to prosper, we must insist on unity, transparency, and civility from ourselves and our fellow citizens. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next week.